I found it, hidden there in the shadows, among broken furniture and dust. It was small, almost insignificant, but wrong. I could feel it, even before I touched it. A box. Something old, carved with patterns so intricate and unnatural that they seemed to move. I picked it up. The wood was cold, too cold, and heavy, yet light. I wanted to leave it. I tried to, but I didn't. I felt drawn to it, unable to resist. I brought it home. It sits on my table now. I think I can feel it. Every glance, every breath, like unseen eyes are watching me. At night, I hear faint scratches, or perhaps whispers. I fear that I am not alone. I inspect the box again and again, turn it in my hands over and over, studying every line, every curve, every shadow that seems to crawl across it. Last night I dreamed of shadows, stretching, reaching, hands that were not hands, eyes that were not eyes. They spoke, or maybe I spoke to them. I woke, my heart pounding, and yet I feel drawn to it more, as if I needed it. My friends said I am obsessed. I denied it. I am not obsessed. I am careful. I just watch and notice. Sometimes it moves slightly when I'm not looking. Or is it my eyes playing tricks? I feel like it's waiting for me, waiting for something I cannot name. I wake and the day is gone. I do not remember how. The sun, it moves too fast or too slow. I cannot tell. Things are out of place, not where I left them. I know I did not move them, and yet something did. I feel it watching, always watching and waiting. I try to ignore it, but I can't. I glance away, and when I look back, it seems different. Or am I different? I am not sure. Shadows flicker in the corners of my eyes. I see them moving, stretching, twisting, but only when I look away. I hear whispers, soft, unknown words, always there, always near. They speak to me. Do I speak to them? I cannot tell. I avoid my friends now. Their voices are frustrating, annoying. They do not understand. They cannot understand. The box, it moves. When my hand gets close, it quakes. It has its own pulse. It's alive. I do not sleep. I cannot sleep. Not with it watching. Not with it waiting. Not with the shadows creeping closer. Every night, every moment. I clean it again, over and over. I study it, measure it, whisper to it, and it whispers back. Or am I imagining it? Days, weeks, lost. I do not remember eating. I don't remember sleeping. I only remember it. It moves even when I am not near. The shadows follow it. Or do they follow me? I can't tell. I shake and I cannot stop. I cannot leave. It is mine. I am alone, but not alone. It is here, always watching, always waiting. The house is not the same. I enter a room and it feels wrong. The walls, they seem to breathe. The floorboards shift under my feet, not where they were. I search desperately for answers. I check books, the internet, nothing. Nothing tells me what this is or what it wants. I dream, even in the day, even while awake. The shadows stretch across my vision. They whisper, and sometimes they reach. Sometimes I feel them. I touch the box and it hums softly but deeply inside my bones. It responds. I feel that it is alive. Time slips again. Minutes, hours, days, they all vanish. I cannot recall any of them. I stopped answering calls. I stopped opening doors. I stopped speaking to anyone. The box is all I have. I follow it with my eyes, every movement, every shadow, shadows that linger beyond my vision. They whisper and they beckon. I listen. I don't eat. I don't sleep. I don't care. Nothing matters. Nothing except it. I feel it, knowing me. I do not resist. I can't. I am not lonely. I am never lonely. It is here, always, always near, waiting. I tried to leave it. I tried to ignore it, but I fail. Every attempt is pointless. It calls me softly. My hands shake, my breath ragged. I hear them, the whispers, the shadows. They are louder now. They are closer. I can't even think. I try to write again and again. The words twist. They repeat. I don't remember writing them. I fear I am losing my mind. Everything I was, gone. I cannot escape. I try again. I try to leave it, to destroy it. It will not go. It will not break. It is stronger than me. I am afraid, but I cannot stop. It calls out to me. The shadows cling to me. They follow me. I feel them even when I close my eyes. I cannot sleep even though I try. I cannot eat. I cannot leave. I am afraid I will never escape. I do not remember who I was or what I was. The shadows are closer now, not just at the edges, not just in the corners. They crawl along the walls, along the floors and the ceiling, stretching and bending impossibly. I speak aloud, but no one is there. I see shapes, hands that reach, eyes staring at me from the walls, the floor, from the ceiling. It hums so deep that I feel it inside my chest, inside my mind. I try to destroy it, but my hands, my body, they don't obey me. It laughs quietly, softly. Only I can hear it. And again, I am compelled. Again, I live for it. I breathe for it. I exist for it. The shadows crawl through my vision, through my thoughts. There are faces everywhere. They stare and they judge. They whisper secrets I cannot understand. I speak to it, and it speaks back. Perhaps it speaks inside my mind. Every thought, every heartbeat, every breath. I try to move, but the room bends. The floor stretches. I stumble and the shadows reach. They stretch longer than possible. I see things that are not possible. The box moves when I am not near. Closer. Alive. I am not alone. I am never alone. I obey, and I am consumed. I must confront it. I can't live like this. I can't exist like this. I try to smash it, to burn it, to throw it out. It resists. It laughs, quietly laughing inside my mind. The shadows form figures. They stretch from walls to floor, from floor to ceiling, with hands long and reaching, grasping at me, pulling me. I run, but I do not move. I scream, and no sound comes out. I plead and am met with only silence, except for the soft whisper of the box. Time collapses. Space collapses. I am trapped inside myself, inside the shadows. It will never let me go. I give in. I can't fight anymore. I won't fight. The shadows crawl over me, through me. I touch the box and it pulses softly, then stronger, through my chest, through my mind. The walls, they bend, the floor ripples, the ceiling drips. Shapes that I cannot name, forms that I cannot see clearly. They surround me. They whisper to me, and they call me. I am consumed by shadows, by whispers, by obsession, by it. I don't remember who I was or what I was. I am gone. I surrender completely, and it accepts me. The house is quiet now. The shadows rest, or they wait. I can't tell. The whispers are gone. The box sits on the table, still and silent, waiting. I am gone. My mind, myself, consumed and shattered, twisted by the box. The house feels empty but alive. The air hums, and I am nothing. I remember flashes, faces and shadows, hands in the walls, voices calling, screaming, laughing, and me, I am trapped. The box remains unchanged, silent but alive, waiting for the next curious hand, the next soul. I am gone, but it lives. and waits. And my story ends. The house sat at the end of a narrow road. The paint was faded with tall windows. A silent, stoic figure appearing to slouch with the weight of its age. Mara stood at the gate with the key in her hand. The metal felt too cold for such a warm afternoon. She stared at the front door for a long time before walking up the path. She reminded herself why she was there. A cleaning job. The owner had died 2 weeks ago with no family nearby. No one wanted to sort the belongings. No one to do the work except Mara. Only because she needed the money. The boards creaked under her weight as she stepped onto the porch. She unlocked the door. The sound of the lock echoed inside before she even opened it. The sound was so loud in the quiet house that she had flinched. She pushed the door inward. The air inside was dim and stale, like a sealed breath. She stepped in slowly. She closed the door behind her. The latch settled with a quiet final sound. She stood in the entryway. The quiet was almost deafening. No clocks ticking, no pipes moving, no settling sounds of the house. Nothing. Even the road seemed far away. She exhaled. Just a house. She whispered. Her voice sounded smaller than she expected. She walked into the living room. Furniture was covered in sheets that made shapes beneath the cloth. Tall shapes, low shapes, and seemingly human shapes. She avoided looking too long at any of them. Her list trembled slightly in her hand. Inventory first, then sorting, then hauling. She lifted the first sheet. Only a chair, plain and harmless. She wrote it down. Behind her, there was a faint sound. Fabric shifting. Spinning sharply at the sound, the fear pulled her around before she could think. All the covered furniture stood still, exactly as before. She formed a knot in her throat. She told herself it was air moving, that old houses breathe and they settle, trying to keep moving. Her focus moved deeper into the house. The hallway stretched long and narrow. doors lining both sides. The light from the entry barely reached halfway down. The rest faded into dimness. Taking slow steps that softened the further she went, as if the floor were swallowing them. Looking back at the front door halfway down, it seemed further away than it should be. She stared, but it didn't move. Mara clutched her clipboard with a grip she didn't know she had. She opened the first door to a bedroom. A neatly made bed. The pillow still dented, as if someone had rested there recently. She stared at the indentation. The air in the room felt cold. The floor creaked upon stepping inside, then fell silent again. She reached for the pillow, then stopped herself. Her hand hovered above it. She didn't know why, but she didn't want to touch it. She pulled her hand back, just as a floorboard creaked behind her in the hallway. A slow creak. Turning quickly, she realized the hallway was empty. Her pulse quickened. Hello? The word barely left her mouth. No answer. She stepped back in the hall. Another creak, but this time closer. The sound hadn't come from the floor this time. It came from the wall. A slow pressure sound, like weight leaning gently against the other side. She stared at the wallpaper full of old faded flowers. The pressure sound stopped. She backed away, breathing shallow. A little rattled, she opened the next door quickly. Only a closet. The empty hangers within swayed slightly, clicking together softly. Her hands still shaking, she stepped back. The hangers stopped moving. She swallowed hard against the lump that had formed in her throat. Her list shook now. Trying to steady it, she logged the closet. The ink scratched louder than it should. At the end of the hall stood a tall mirror. Dust filmed on its surface. She faintly saw her reflection in it, pale and small. As she stepped closer, her reflection did the same. She looked down to log the mirror, and it copied her perfectly. Normal. She exhaled. The reflection of her stood completely still, chest unmoving, a perfect copy of her own eyes fixed on her. Her stomach dropped. Slowly the reflection smiled. Mara had not smiled. She stumbled backward. When she looked again, the mirror showed only her again. A perfect copy, breathing, terrified. The house creaked softly. It seemed to come from every direction, not settling, more like shifting, like something adjusting its weight. She turned in a slow circle. Every door was closed. Every wall was still. But the feeling that she was not alone remained. She backed up toward the front of the hallway. Behind her, a door opened, so quietly she barely noticed. She froze once she realized. The hinge gave a long, soft sigh. She felt it behind her, the space changing, the air moving. She turned around slowly. The bedroom door stood open, wider than before. Inside, the pillow indentation was gone. The blanket pulled slightly down, as if someone had just risen. Her knees felt weak, as a faint sound came from the room, like breathing, slow and patient. Tears welled in her eyes, causing her vision to blur. She stepped back again. The breathing stopped and silence returned. She didn't write anything else on the list. She didn't check another room. She walked to the front door, slowly and carefully. Behind her, the floor creaked once more. She didn't want to look back and see what was behind her. Her hand found the knob to the front door. She turned it, opened the door. The daylight spilled in warm and alive. As she stepped outside, the porch boards groaned softly under her weight. She pulled the door shut. She thought she heard something shift inside. A faint movement just beyond the wood. She stood very still, listening, and heard nothing else. The house looked ordinary again. Just a quiet, empty house. She walked down the path without looking back. She told the agency that she could not finish the job due to illness. Weeks later, she heard it took 3 of her coworkers to get the house inventoried and cleaned. That's what happens when you have to clean a haunted house.